Y'all know what time it is. All right. It's double trouble time. All right. Twice the fun, twice the entertainment, twice the trouble. All right. But you know what to do. All right. You know what to do. Don't be stingy. Don't be stingy. Please crush that share button because I'm your co host, Jared A. Brown. My twin brother, Jeff Brown, is the other co host. And on Double Trouble, all right, Double Trouble, we interview the brightest minds in the digital marketing, affiliate marketing, entrepreneur space. And tonight, we're going to do it again. All right, we are doing it again. We're going to be giving you a special guest, and our special guest is going to be giving you his basically breaking down the 2-hour workflow. That basically we're going to get the good stuff. All right. So, man, Justin Springer is going to be our special guest. But before I bring him on, and before he gives us some of what we're going to feast on, I'm going to bring on my co-host, my twin brother. Here we go. Boom. Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Oh, here he is. Co-host. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. What is up, my twin brother?
I'm stoked. I'm excited, man. And what better time to do this than 5 a.m. here in Abu Dhabi? Huh? Let's go. Let's do this.
Nice.
I'm excited. So this guy is killing it. He's bringing in the dough, the cheddar, and I've never seen somebody promote this system, IPS, like he is. And I'm not going to drop names. I'm not going to drop dimes. I normally don't like the way people promote this system, right? But I totally approve of his authentic, genuine style that he uses to promote this program. And we're gonna learn firsthand how he is having success, huge amounts of success with this program.
Yeah, I'm excited to do that too. Justin Springer, I've watched his YouTube shorts. I've watched some of his videos on YouTube, and you're right. He does it in a way where it's his personality, and it's not these. It's not all. I'm putting a big thing on Facebook where watch me. I'm doing all this. I mean, he in his videos, he's just talking, and it's his personality, which I love. And so that's what we do, and we tend to gravitate towards, you know what I mean? We tend to gravitate towards real personalities, and that's what I really dig about him, is because he's real, and so let's do this. Let's bring on Justin Springer and get the skinny on what he does and what this is all about in regards to unlocking the secrets of success his way. Let's give him a very, very warm Double Trouble Show welcome. All right, VIP. Here we go, VIP.
You know what? I was hoping for an intro. Like, you guys had killer intros. I was hoping I was going to get an intro. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that.
Very cool.
Right.
Very cool. Yeah.
There's our guest. There's Justin.
There we go. I like that. I got an intro and everything, man. You guys.
Yeah.
There we go.
You're a VIP. You're a VIP, brother. VIP.
Spoke on a will.
Yeah, tell us how it is, man.
Just a smoke on a wheel, man. Name is Justin Springer. You guys already know. You've been announcing it, and yeah, been online for the past 4 or 5 years now. I used to be a gym manager. I also, even before that, was a troublemaker. So have a couple felonies. Have a couple felonies on me. I heard, I think what was it? Jeff, he went over to the military. That's something that I wish I would have done. But I didn't. I actually got to meet a guy in Vegas that is in the military. Like, I've been following him forever. And I told him the same story. I said, man,
really?
When I was younger, I wanted to go that route, but like an idiot, I thought I was missing something. And instead I just got into trouble. But
anyways, into trouble.
Just got into trouble, not double trouble, but trouble. And then, but anyways, climbed out of the abyss, and now I'm making money online and trying to live the best life that I possibly can and give back to others.
Nice. Well, welcome to the Double Trouble Show. And it's a pleasure to have you on. Jeff turned me on to you in regards to, he saw your stuff first, and nice. he sent me some videos from you, some links to your YouTube channel, and say, hey, you got to take a look at this guy. He does it differently, and again, we also, we joined IPS last year as well, and so we're familiar with it, and we see a lot of positives and a lot of advantages, but we just weren't necessarily a big fan of some of the ways that people were promoting it, and we just didn't feel necessarily that we had a whole lot of support in regards to giving us guidance and stuff. But you do it differently. You've built a community, Justin. You've got like a full support group, right?
Well, I mean, and yeah, if I can be very blunt with you, I didn't want to promote IPS either. If you really want to know, I actually, y'all are going to actually laugh. I was promoting a system called Passport Profits, and they had IPS inside of it because they had 4 income streams in one. And I said, okay, well, I got to get the 4th income stream because I want to make the max amount of money. So I get IPS. I think it was like at the $300 level. And next thing you know, we're not going to name drop or anything. But anyways, Profit Passports just turned a new leaf, right? They decided to go a different direction, which is fine. But I was sitting there with Easy One Up or whatever it was, and IPS and a few other systems. And I was like, you know what? I don't know. I'm probably just going to go back to just coaching and not do affiliate marketing anymore. And then I got introduced to a lady that started the actual community and everything. And I said, you know what? I'm going to run with IPS. And here's the reason why. I used to promote a company, and a lot of people know this about me if you follow my old YouTube channels, called Exodus. But it doesn't matter what these companies are, right? It's about after the sale, right? Who cares about the beginning of the sale? It's what goes on after the sale.
Yeah, I totally agree, and that's where a lot of people are totally forgotten about. I totally agree.
Right, and what I used to do is I had my own Facebook group. I had my community. Like, in fact, you can even go to an old Most Won't We Will group. A long time ago, I started. It's up to like 2,000 members. Like, I built that with MCA, and I went over to Exodus and did the same thing because I wanted to give these guys coaching. It was exhausting, though. It is exhausting to try to, you know what I mean, to get all these people and motivate them and things of that nature.
It's a lot of work. Yeah.
It's a lot of work, and you got to have some pretty good players. And I think that's what attracted me to this community, because we already had a community and some key players in there that were chipping in too. And I was like, all right, I'm going to fit right in. And that's exactly what I did. They were like, I was like, hey, I can do more. I can do more, guys. Believe me, I can do more. And they were like, okay, if you want to do a training, let's go. And I said, all right, let's go. I'm going to do some trainings. And I just started helping people out, and people started seeing success, and we just took off from there. So
very cool. So that says a lot about you, though, that, you were able to build that community. And granted, it is a lot of work, building a community and making sure that there's involvement, engagement, and that people aren't left on the wayside, so to speak. There is a lot to that. What do you think are your, your maybe some of your big some assets of yours, so to speak, or what makes you a good coach compared to maybe some of your predecessors or whatnot?
Well, out of respect for your show, sometimes I'm a little bit pretty aggressive and I would probably cuss. And I'm going to call you out on certain things because, I mean, I feel like sometimes there's just some coddling. Like, I get the whole scenario of, okay, hey, you got in and you got left. I'm with you. Okay. But at the end of the day, your success is upon you.
This is your business. Yeah.
It's your business. Your success is upon you at the end of the day. And I think one of my greatest assets, if I can speak freely of myself, would just be the fact that when I believe in it, I'm going to go make it happen. I'm not going to wait on you. I'm going to go make it happen. And then I'm going to be super laser focused. Like for instance, there's another company out there that's spatting on IPS right now. And they're only doing that because they're trying to pull all those people. Okay. And I saw somebody on somebody else's live watching this other person. And I said, what are you doing? What does that do for you to watch somebody else's live about another business? Besides cloud your judgment and make you start second guessing your decision, and you're not actually building your business. So don't sit there and tell me that you want to leave your 9 to 5 and you want to have freedom, but then your actions are not following with what you're saying. And so that's where I'm very blunt, where I'm like, no, if this is what you want, let's go. Believe in it and go.
Be all in.
All in. All in. Be all in with it. Yeah. I mean, now, hey, and then if you go 2 months hardcore, you don't make any money, or you feel like this isn't for you, I will respect that. But show me those 2 months where you went all in.
Gotcha. What you're saying
I
love
the bluntness. Yeah.
I like some people will hit me up and they'll say, hey, Justin, have you seen this? No, I have not. Because, Bedros Keuilian, I don't know if y'all have ever heard of him before, but he's a multimillionaire and built some gyms or whatever. But anyways, his whole thing was, he goes, the millionaires that I hang around with, they're constantly just worrying about creating, right? What's the next podcast I'm going to do? What's the next video I'm going to do? What's the next ad I'm going to run? They're worried about creating. And I took that as a grain, I was like, okay, I'm with that same thing. Now, yes, tonight we're going to talk about the 2-hour business and all that. But in those 2 hours, I'm creating. I'm not worried about what this person is doing or what that person is doing or how that's not connecting. I'm creating because I want to get out there and I want to touch lives. Number one, we're fighting an attention game already, right? So you got to go get attention. But number two, it's kind of like, and I'll give you this stuff that I give my team here in a minute. We'll dive into it more. But you remember the old, the old MLM way, what's your why? What's your why? But seriously, have you ever sat down and asked what your why is? Why are you doing
that is exactly it. When you get into this, either, go into it full force, 100%, and keep your why at the forefront. Embrace the why.
Embrace the why. And because of that, it makes me want to get out to more people because, it's kind of like when people sit there and say, hey, well, I have a fear about making a TikTok video. I'm like, okay, so you're going to look at your kids and you're going to say, hey, I'm not going to run my business today because of a fear of what some person that I've never, ever met before in my life, it might possibly say or look at me. Why? You know what I mean?
Right.
So go ahead and look at your kids and tell them that.
That's a very good way. That's a very good way to phrase it. As a matter of fact, I was just telling someone yesterday. I was like, hey, you know what? To be honest with you, it's easier for me to get on a live stream like this, talk to you, Justin, and talk to Jared. I don't know who's watching, and I don't know how many people are watching. So it's easier for me to do it this way than it is to get in front of throngs of people, because I can see those throngs of people in person, whereas live like this, I don't know how many people are watching and I don't see them.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. Well, it's funny. I did a training, we did a presentation. I think we had like 200 people there, and it was a little nerve wracking. I was like, "Oh, 200 people,
200 people."
Like, yeah, it was a little nerve wracking. And then you got to go, but still, you start thinking about all those things that, okay, hey, I'm doing this for a bigger reason, so we're just going to go, and we're just going to give the best amount of value that we possibly can, which is exactly what we're doing here right now. I mean, when you sit here and say, hey, Justin, what's your 2-hour thing? I'll give it to you. I have no problem, because I want to give the most amount of value that I possibly can. So that's where my mind's at.
I like that. We talk, when we interview people, Justin, we basically call certain segments of our show value bombs, and you've dropped a couple value bombs already, and so I like a couple of things that you've said. Nuggets, whatever you want to call them, we call them value bombs. And Jeff, yeah, exactly. Though, and what we want to do is we want to highlight certain things, and your bluntness, being blunt and direct is an asset. And I like that, because to be a coach, you need somebody who's going to give you direction. You don't necessarily need somebody who's going to, as you put it, coddle you,
sugarcoat it, man.
Sugarcoat it, and so I think that is a great asset. Because I wanted to really talk about what you do differently, because I think it is very unique compared to what other people, how other people promote IPS. Talk a little bit about how you're doing it with your 2-hour. Is it the 2-hour workflow? The 2-hour workday?
2-hour workflow. 2-hour workflow. So first and foremost, guys, there's a prerequisite to this, okay? And that prerequisite is it's not about a following or anything like that, but you do have to throw in personal development. Like, people will sit there and say, "Oh, that's all you do, Justin?" Because I give it to them all the time, and they're blown away, and they're like, "Well, how are you having so much success?" Because I have personal development. I believe in what I do. I show up. I'm confident in what I do. And not only that, I work on myself every single day. I step into my vision every single day. You'll almost never see a training of mine where I'm probably not talking about some type of personal development or mindset that goes along with this, because your income will never exceed your personal development, right? So if you can get that prerequisite down, which I don't believe all of our viewers are doing, they'll say they are, but they're not. But my 2-hour, it goes like this. I use a lot of short form content. And the reason why is because you guys have been marketing for a little bit. I've been marketing for a little bit. Never have I seen the fact that we can take a little 60-second video and get in front of so many different people. Like, everybody's sitting there saying, "Well, Justin, my TikTok views are down. That's only 200 views. I'm like, 200 people? Hey, can you fill your living room with 200 people?
That's a lot of people.
Like, you're crazy. Like, if you're not getting leads, I hate to tell you this, but it has nothing to do with there's 200 people watching. It's just your content is not captivating those 200 people. You know what I mean? To make them want to do something. So, but anyways, this is kind of like my flow is I'll make about 2 TikTok videos a day. I will then post them. I'll download them. I use repurpose.io. That's just me. You can go to snaptick.com, because repurpose.io is like $20 a month.
And remove the money. Right, and remove the watermark.
Yeah, remove the watermark. I then put it on Facebook Reels. I put it on YouTube Shorts. I make 1 Facebook post. And then I also email my list every other day. And then also on top of that, I make 1 YouTube video a week, and I'll make sure to email that to my list.
Interesting.
And I mean, and see, like, everybody's kind of like, "That's it." That's it.
No. Okay. So the one thing I'd like to ask you is, just before you were talking about the 2-hour workflow, you mentioned personal development and mindset. So would you say that personal development and mindset, they go hand in hand, they kind of mesh together?
Oh, 100%. 100%. I mean,
Okay.
personal development, there's so many categories, but think about it. They all affect your mindset in a certain way, right? Like sometimes if you go and work out, right? Like what a lot of people don't understand, and Tony Robbins talks about this too. If you're in a state of being, you're in that funk. If you're constantly sitting there saying, why don't I have this yet? You're in a funk and that's all you're going to get. And it's not allowing you to create because you're just focusing on that goal. So even Tony Robbins says, if you change your state of being, guess what you can get out of that? Well, they've done studies. There's different ways of state of being. You can do the meditation, but if you go do a physical activity really quick, you can also get out. Like I've never seen anybody, you know what I mean, go do a physical activity, get up from doing 100 push-ups and say, I want to go fight somebody. No, now you feel better. You feel great. You feel exhausted. You're like, oh, I feel a little bit better. You change your state of being. Right. So when you take that state of being, that change of state of being, now you can create because you're not focused on why isn't things working out. Because when people stay in that state of being, what do they tend to do? Well, I'm going to go compare myself. I'm going to go watch somebody. Now, next thing you know, 3 hours have gone by and all I've done is procrastinate and bull crap all over social media. And I became a consumer and not a producer. So you wasted your day.
Just consuming and not creating.
So that was a long answer to what you said, but yes, mindset, personal development, maybe working out is part of personal development too, but it affects your mindset, which will then allow you.
I would say it is.
Yeah.
I'm a big proponent to working out, staying physically fit. You know, I guess it's because of my military background, but I feel my day isn't complete if I don't get some sort of physical fitness in, whether it's working out my muscles or getting on the treadmill and running 2 miles, right? I'll do that. I'll alternate days where either I'm working out or I'm on the treadmill, but I don't feel that my day is complete unless I've had some sort of physical fitness in.
Agreed. I work out 5 days a week. I'm up pretty early. I'm watching my diet. I also do a visualization and I do all that. And here's the funny thing about it. If you notice a lot of my TikToks, I'll be in a t-shirt. And the reason why is because I just came home from the gym. My blood is pumping. I'm creating in my mind. I'm like, yo, I'm ready to go. I got some
going.
And you're pumped up. You're hyped up, right?
Yeah. And that's the funny thing about it, because you know, you might have some guys out there that could easily say, well, this guy just wears the same t-shirt every day doing TikTok videos, but they don't come at me like that. They don't do it because they just feel the energy and they're like, I don't know what this guy's got going on, but I want to be a part of it.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Personal development every day. That's why I said
every day.
That's what I'm saying. It's a prerequisite. But here's the other thing, because if you think about it, it'll show up everywhere in your business. Like when you write an email, right? If you're desperate for a sale, how do you think that email is going to come out?
Like you're desperate. Yeah.
Like you're desperate, and you won't even know it. You'll just use certain words and it'll just feel like, oh my God, I'm hoping that I'm going to send this to my little list and I'm hoping that somebody will just buy, right? Well, you're already out of alignment, right? You should just be creating and giving some value. And then these guys just come.
All right. So there's another value bomb right there. I love that. So
boom.
All right. So
feel the waves of that one, baby.
Let's summarize that again, Justin, because that is very eloquent. So what you're talking about is not just sending out a bunch of I'm trying to sell you, email swipes. It's creating value in an email. And then, sure, you may leave a link or something, but you're trying to build value for the people you're sending an email to. So that's powerful. That is, because I think sometimes we forget about that.
Well, and also for me, there's some more to that, right? So right now I chose to go with short form content. It's very democratic right now. That means that you can either have no followers, some followers, and you can still get in front of tons of people. So you know what I mean? So it's very democratic, right? Now, we already know though, even though short form content is going to get you in front of people, you still have to build that know, like, and trust factor. So what I'm doing is I'm first getting the short form.
Yeah, it's paramount.
Exactly. I'm getting the short form content onto my email list, and then I'm using the power of the email list to build the know, like, and trust factor. And that's where people are missing. They're still stuck in the old days of using their email list of, I'm just going to pound them, you know what I mean, for like the next 10 days. And instead, they just saw a little bitty video of you. They have no idea if they want to buy from you yet.
There's not that like, know, and trust.
It won't know much about you. Yeah, I get that. So you mentioned a little bit ago that you also send an email out every other day. Is that so that it doesn't feel like people are just getting pounded and peppered by email messages?
Well, so I'm a little funny, right? I do have an autoresponder of 13 emails that do automatically go out. But the reason why I email my list every other day is because every other day there might be something going on. I might be doing a training. I drop that one YouTube video a week, so I do that, right? Every now and then I might just run a special, right? Where I might say, hey, you know what? I'm willing to take the next 5 people. I'm going to give them a coaching call. And guess what? If you even get in at the premium level, I'll pay your admin fee, but only for the next 5 people, right?
Sweet. So I like that.
Yeah. So, and every now and then I'll do that, or just things are going on in my life. Like, Jared reached out to me and I was in Vegas, so I couldn't really talk to him that first day because I was on the plane. So I'm letting them know I'm in Vegas, guys, say hi. Right. Not only can they see that, okay, he's making money and he's going to Vegas, but now they just have a little part of my life, right? It's just little bitty pieces of my life.
Now, and how was that retreat? I mean, you spent 3 or 4 days there, and I'd like to underscore here, folks, that this whole Vegas trip of Justin's was paid for by his IPS income, correct?
It was paid by IPS, and then while I was there for that 4 days, I made $2,100. So, I mean, if you count the day that I was actually leaving towards there, that I guess you could say that's 5 days. So if you break $2,100 down by 5 days, I was making about $400 a day average.
Wow, that's impressive, brother.
That covered some of the bills for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I love those short vacations. I mean, they're necessary. They're good getaways. You get to relax, chill, reinvigorate, and recharge your batteries.
Yeah, well, this one was very funny. We were kind of celebrating, my girlfriend's birthday and some other things, but I had a couple friends there. And then it was funny because a lot of people online reached out to me because I didn't even know they lived in Vegas. They were just like, "Oh, you're in Vegas. I'm like 10 minutes away from you." And I'm like, "Whoa," I'm like, that's crazy, right? But yeah, I had a couple of friends there. And so it made it just kind of like one little cool getaway and get to knowing people and things like that. So it was fun.
Right on. So what did you go to the Rio? Where did you go eat when you were there?
Man, we at a few different places. Well, I mean, the beginning of our trip kind of was a bummer because we actually got this one particular hotel because we were told you could do an Elvis tour, and we were going to be taken to Elvis's penthouse and all that.
Okay.
Well, supposedly they changed it because now they're doing all these timeshares. So they were like, "Oh yeah, you can do a 90-minute thing of the tour, and then you can get this prize, and we'll even let you get an autograph of, I guess, Elvis's stepbrother or something like that." And I was like, no, I'm not going to go through all that crap. So we were lied to about the hotel we stayed at, but ate at the Hard Rock, some other places. We got to go to the Bellagio. Yeah. My friend had a hotel at Planet Hollywood, which was crazy. I don't know why he had this big, you can see it in some of my old stories, but anyways, he had this big, huge swing in the middle of I was like,
that's crazy.
Well, that's what I'm talking about.
Swing, you know what I mean?
I know, right? Say no more.
I haven't been there in a long time. My wife and I spent our anniversary there like in 2007, 2008, right?
Nice.
And we stayed at the Wynn Hotel back then, and all I remember is went down the Vegas Strip. We were having fun doing all these different tours, and I remember getting handed all sorts of different cards by people, and then those cards were like everywhere on the streets.
Right.
Does that still happen?
That
sure it
still
does.
happens.
Yeah.
I was like with my girlfriend, and girls were handing me their flyers. I was like, what are you doing? Like, no, like, yeah, it still happens. And they're everywhere. They're all over the school.
Right.
You're just sitting on the elevator going up, okay, they're everywhere, so.
My wife's like, why did you let that lady just hand you that card? So I was like, she just handed me the card. What am I going to do?
Well, it's a natural habit to try to take it. And then you're like, oh, okay. That was a setup.
Yeah. And they're pretty creative too. They're pretty crafty. I'll give them that. So
yeah, they're very crafty.
Let's talk about I want to kind of talk about time and financial freedom, because I think that, that financial freedom is great. Okay. Because, people sometimes get that, they get attracted to, well, I'm going to be able to pay off my bills, and I'm going to be able to pay off debt. And those are great things to do. In fact, I think I watched one of your YouTube shorts today where you talked about that. But the time freedom, what do you think? Do you think one's more important than the other, or do they have a good balance there?
Well, yeah. I mean, if you watch my YouTube short, and I play around, right? I'm like, there is no such thing as financial freedom, right? You're always going to have financial obligations.
Right.
Now, the freedom from the fear of finances can happen, right? But
right.
That's a mental thing. But time freedom, yes. I mean, that's ultimately what I desire. And this goes back to the 4 things that I tell people to write down all the time. And this is another part of my why. I used to really work hard on my business, which is fine. It's nothing wrong with working hard per se. But then I had to ask myself, well, is this what I want, right? Did I really want to leave a 9 to 5 to go replace it with another 9 to 5 in a sense? And no, I didn't, right? So I wanted the time freedom. I wanted to enjoy. I also wanted to be able to pick up and go to places like Vegas or wherever, whenever I wanted to. And that was the thing. Like, a lot of people would sit there and say, oh, you still worked in Vegas. That doesn't make sense. You were on vacation. I'm like, but I work 1 to 2 hours a day. What are you talking about? Like, I can wake up in the morning, knock it out, and go do whatever I need to do. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And so that was very keen to me. So yes, I think time freedom is way more important. I'm not a guy that shies away from hard work, but yeah, I want to be able to do things when I want to do them, right? Because we're limited on time, right? We can always get money.
Yeah.
Well, exactly. I mean, you just hit the nail on the head. I mean, we can always earn money, but we can't buy back time, and we spoke before the broadcast about we're all fathers here. You said you have a 14-year-old daughter, and this time freedom that you now have allows you to spend more time with your daughter than you were able to do it with your job at the gym, working 60 plus hours a week, right?
Oh, hands down. When I was working at the gym, let's make this very, very clear. I loved my job at the gym. There was nothing I would even go back to the gym today. The thing about it is it was just the hours. I just couldn't keep up with it. Number one, they don't pay enough. Okay. So I was still broke, and I was just putting everything on my mom. And it was crazy because I was literally taking my daughter to school and then coming home, and she was passed out. So I'm like, this can't work. Next thing you know, a few months go by and her hair's growing out, and I'm like, what the heck? Like, I barely seen you. You know what I mean? I'm like,
no idea.
I couldn't keep doing it. Yeah. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's a big thing.
All right. So
I can relate. I totally relate to that.
The time freedom is huge for me too. And I think that, it's really more important than currency, because unless you unless you have, some sort of connection to, Ant-Man and the quantum, and the going into the quantum, whatever it's called, and reversing
Quantum
time.
realm. Yeah.
Right, the quantum realm. There we go. And I love Paul Rudd. Don't get me wrong, okay? And his movies are great, and he makes a good Ant-Man. But unless you can go into the quantum realm and turn back time and reverse it, we can't get that back. You know what I mean? And and when I was in my early 20s, just last year,
There you go.
Long time ago. That was a long time ago.
So, I worked, I used to be totally fine because I thought that that's what you needed to do was work 50, 60 hours a week, and then
It's what we were all hardwired to think. It's how we were
right,
raised, Work
but now
more
that
hours, work
I'm a
overtime.
little bit wiser, Justin. I'm a little wiser, I've found out that, time, that time freedom is big for me. It really is. That is huge. And I think that resonates with me, in regards to something that I can get my head around,
Time freedom was a big thing for me because even at the gym, I got the pat on the backs, maybe a little bit of a raise, and then the attaboys and the plaque. And I'm like, I'm sacrificing way too much for a plaque. You know what I mean? I need to go out there and I need to be doing way more. And so time freedom was just a big, huge push for me. And even right now, I'm back in Texas to help my family, right? And it's like I wouldn't be able to help if I'm always constantly at a job 24/7. And you know what I mean? And so time freedom is just it's one of my biggest goals. And I agree with what you just said, right? We can't get that stuff back.
right?
You know what I mean?
No.
And
right.
And in our immature thinking, and when I call it immature, I'm not calling any of our viewers or your viewers immature, but when you start in this business, you do have immature thinking. You don't understand it, right? But as you get up older, why do you think we're constantly looking for ways that we can leverage? Like me, I'm not afraid to pay some guy $5. I know I could go to Canva and do some of this crap myself, but why? Why? I mean, I'd rather spend some guy $50 and makes his day in what country he's at, and yet I bought my time back, right? Why do I have an automated system?
And believe you me, that guy in Bangladesh or Pakistan or India, wherever he is going to be able to use that money very well, and it's going to mean the world to him.
Well, but that's the problem with a lot of new entrepreneurs, right? They're like, well, I've already invested in the program. So what? You know what I mean? Do you want to spend more time creating and getting your business out there? Or do you want to just keep on, well, hey, I'm going to build my website tonight and I'm going to spend, 5 hours on this. And it always happens. Next week, I reach out to them and I'm like, hey, where you at? Well, I'm still working on my website. Are you kidding me? You had a whole week. You know what I mean? At this point, pay somebody $200 to do it. I mean, I know it's $200, but you what I think about it is like, what if you got it to a point where you really were creating $300 a day? Because I know for some people it's far-fetched. You're creating $300 a day. What the hell is that $200? What is that $200? Saved you a whole bunch of time and headache, and you're out there making money.
Or put the website on the back burner, okay? You know what I mean? And put your priority more in the short form video and putting your content on the forefront.
And gaining an email list. Yeah.
Well, but that's the whole thing. We're immature. We want to take it all on in the beginning. But I'm telling you, when you get deep into this, you're always looking for ways. How can I leverage? How can I leverage? How can I leverage? And I know it's an ego thing, especially for us guys, right? Like back in the day, it's like, no, I'll mow my own lawn. I don't need no guy to mow my own lawn. I can get it, right? I'm the man of the house. Forget that. I'd rather pay a kid $20. I'll mow the lawn. Let me continue to work.
And speaking of which, Justin, Jared has an interesting story to tell about his riding lawnmower this week.
Yeah, so
And it
I
goes
made a
hand in
short
hand
form
with what you were
video.
saying, because it's hard.
Yeah, it
It's
does.
hard for us sometimes to accept that we need help.
It is, and so I live in a rural area, okay, and I have chickens. All right, it's kind of funny. Jeff laughs about it, but and I've got a big yard, and so I have a riding lawnmower. All right, okay, it's a big yard. I'm not gonna, even if it's self-propelled, I'm not gonna push or use a regular lawnmower. So I've got a Troy built Bronco lawnmower, and the reason why I
Wow.
chose reason why I chose that one, by the way, isn't
Bronco. How
necessarily
does
because I can.
Bronco fit in that? His
I
son is named Bronco, and he's actually a Denver Broncos fan.
right,
Is your
yeah. So
shirt right
anyway,
now a
side
Denver
note.
Broncos shirt?
I,
Yes, I
I,
am.
I, well, I know Ford just recently brought back the Broncos, so I thought maybe that had something to do with it. I don't
Yeah. So
know.
anyway, yeah. So side note, I chose the Troy built Bronco riding lawnmower not because I'm against Toro or these other craftsmen, it's just because my son's name is Bronco. But anyway,
Bronco.
so I'm mowing my back lawn, and I'm doing this because I'm not pushing, and all of a sudden, and I'm like, what the, and all of a sudden I think, okay, am I out of gas, or is it my belt, so I'm doing one of those where I'm looking under to make sure it's not my belt, and I go to the Sinclair and I go put some gas in my little red gasoline container, go back to my house, put gasoline in. It starts right back up, but I can't, my lever, all right, that engages is like totally loose. All
Ooh.
right. So it's not like starting, it's not lowering it's not lowering
The
my
blade.
mower blade, right? So it's
You
like
kind of need
loose.
those the
It's like
most.
going like this. It's not decreasing the tension or increasing the tension. There's no resistance. So I'm a layman. Right? And so I don't know how to fix it right off, but for the most part, I am a DIY guy, do it yourself in most aspects. I can watch YouTube, and if I watch enough YouTube videos, I'm doing all right. Like I've watched a YouTube video and I've looked up Nissan Versa 2012, and I've been able to find out and learn how to put a new bulb in for my for my headlight. Okay, and I've done that. Okay, so I'm thinking, okay, I'll try to do it myself, but it didn't necessarily go to plan. I watched multiple YouTube videos. All right, I did, like maybe at least
I
six.
see
All
so many.
right.
I see so many. I see so many parallels to affiliate marketing and IPS right now.
Yes, which is why I made that short form video. Why I made that short form video. So go watch my short form video about it. But it totally it is a metaphor that works with what we do, because you can say, okay, I'm just going to watch a bunch of YouTube videos and I can, I'll figure it out. Well, there are some things you
Learn it all
can't.
on my own.
You know what I mean? Some things you can, but in my case with that particular thing, all right, I called my brother-in-law because he knows riding lawnmowers much better than I. He's a mentor. Okay. I'm going to call him my mentor in that sort of aspect and that perspective, and that he's an expert. And so he's going to help me fix it and make sure that engagement cable that's going to give me that tension and resistance so I can pull on that lever, he's going to make sure that's installed properly. So anyway, I think you guys get the gist of it, is that, with affiliate marketing, the digital marketing, being an entrepreneur, sure, you can watch some YouTube videos, but in many cases you need a mentor, because if you don't have somebody who's already been successful, you're going to get lost. Like you put it,
Right,
the way you
because
put it, Justin, at the
sometimes what
beginning.
happens, Jared, is that mentor is going to be able to fill in the cracks where sometimes that instruction manual that you maybe have with you riding a lawnmower doesn't exactly give you the instructions that you need.
Right. Or like Justin put, the way Justin put it at the beginning of our broadcast is that there's a bright and shiny object, and then all of a sudden you get distracted, right? All of a sudden there's a new program out there, squirrel, you know, and you get distracted. Whereas a mentor can keep you focused, you know. So there's so many things that a mentor can do, and I think that cannot be overstated for, you know, the less experienced, you know, digital marketers.
Well, do you want to be rich or do you want to be right?
Yeah, right. Don't be
proud.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know, that's all it is. Do you want to be rich or do you want to be rich? Well, I mean, and this is my biggest thing though. When I sit there and I tell people, it's like, you don't have a business problem, you have a personal problem reflecting in your business. You know what I mean? And every time I say it, it goes way over their head. They're like, oh, no, I got a business problem. No, you don't. No, you don't. Like,
yeah,
I tell people all the time. Like, I tell people all the time, like, okay, make 2 TikTok videos a day, right? And then they don't do that. And then they're like, well, no, I got a business problem. No, you didn't even make 2 videos a day. Now, if you make 2 videos a day for 30 days and we don't have a sale, okay, then it's just about how you're showing up, and I can help you with that. But if I can't even get you to show up, you don't have a business problem yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, there has to be initiative on their end.
Yeah, well, in this generation right now, and I'm not talking about young generation, I'm just talking about right now, what's going on in our society is everybody is consuming, and they're not applying, right? They're just sucking in this, they're just sucking in information. Right. They're like just information hoarders. And they're not applying anything they're learning. You got guys on YouTube bragging that they read a book in a week. And I'm like, are you stupid? Did you even apply that book? Did you even know? Can you even tell me what the first chapter told you to do? No, you can't, because you're so excited that you just finished. You went from A to B. Like, and you're bragging about that. And then you're telling other people to do the same thing. Like, you're an idiot. You're still broke and you're trying to tell people to read. Like, you're doing no justice. You're not making me want to read if you're living a broke life telling other people to read. I'm gonna
bust a gut here.
Right. If I do what you do, I get what you get. I don't want that. I don't want that. Yeah, I don't. I'll just stay dumb then, because apparently it's not working.
Well, we have a lot of. I think today we have a lot of smartphone zombies. I mean, you go to the mall or you go to the grocery store, and somebody will walk right into you if you don't have situational awareness on point.
Very true. Very true. Yes.
As a matter of fact, my wife will nudge me a lot of times because I will on purpose tune out or turn off my situational awareness so that these people almost walk right into me, or I'll walk into their way, right?
Just to mess with them.
But sometimes you mentioned something a bit ago, in the military we have this jargon, and it's called headspace and timing, and that's for the operator. A lot of times as an operator or a user, we'll just blame it on them we're using, right? But in a lot of cases, it's the operator who's operating the item in a wrong way, incorrectly. And so we just have to use headspace and timing and adjust things here and not on the item, you know?
Well, and that's the thing. And like you just said earlier, Jared, when you were trying to paint your story, right? How we do anything is how we do everything, right? So it's kind of like, so we're over here like, oh, okay, hey, my business is not going. I'm so used to just cranking out this information. I'm just going to go watch more YouTube videos, or I'm going to go to the IPS back office and I'm going to watch more videos, or I must be missing something. You're telling yourself that. And it's really just sometimes you're just not getting out there because you made one video and it didn't go the way you wanted it to, you think you did it wrong. When if you just go back to your video and just kind of relook at it and say, oh, you know what? I didn't really have a hook to grab somebody. You know what I mean? My confidence wasn't really going. You know, my next video, I'm going to really try to implement a hook and confidence. You're applying now. You're not just soaking information all day. You're taking it to the next level and applying.
Right.
I mean, like my TikTok videos, I have some that bust, but it doesn't make me stop saying, okay, you know what? I'm going to tweak this a little bit better, or that hook didn't go good, or whatever it is, or hey, maybe my
a self-analysis. Like, okay, is there a hook?
My stuff to get better.
Right. So is there a hook there? Is there, do I address a problem? Do I address the solution? Is there a call to action?
So side note, Justin, my favorite is when in your videos, by the way, is because I'm an actor and I like impressions and stuff. But one of my favorite things that you do is that you'll kind of break character and you'll act like you're in third person. Well, it didn't work. And you'll do like this really sarcastic voice. I love that, by the way.
Well, I'm glad you told me. I'm going to start doing that. I do it all the time, honestly, but I don't do it on those videos. But it does. You know, sometimes I gotta say like this, because when people realize, oh, you know what, that is me. I mean, I guarantee there's somebody watching this right now saying, oh, I am the guy that reads all those books, and yet you're still in the same spot that you were after you did, you know, your first 10. You know what I mean? Which is crazy. That's not something to brag about.
It's not, no, there's application. And I think that's what's missing is that, you know, it's good it's good to have self-development, self-care, but if you actually don't apply what you learn, then it's useless. You're not really, you're not implementing it.
Right. I totally agree with what you just said, Jared. One of my first mentors in this business taught me that knowledge is not power. Rather, applied knowledge is power.
Yep. Applied knowledge is power. And I mean, because there's so much information out there, and I get it. You can get lost, but it's kind of like if you kind of really just, well, and I'll leave you with those 4 things in just a minute that we were talking about, because I like that. But if you really just develop the person that you want to be, or define the character that you want to play, and then you just make sure that you just play that character, like meaning if it doesn't align with that character, just let it go. Don't worry about that information. You can get that information later. Number one, you'll just simplify your life. You'll simplify your mind, and you'll take more action. You'll get so much farther.
Well said. Well said. I love that. That's a pretty good value bomb right there.
We're getting near to the end here, Justin. I'd like to ask you a question that I will pose to most people we have as guests, and that's it. If you were to debunk, demyth, myths that are going on about digital marketing, the affiliate marketing industry, what would be some ways you would debunk it right here?
We need another hour for this,
I
right?
know.
You know, number one, well, the biggest one is when people think it's a scam, right? Like, hey, listen, we're in 2023. There's other ways to make money online. I know back in 2010, we didn't know what this internet thing was. We were a little nervous about it, but guess what? It's here. You got kids, 14 years old making, $20,000 a month. It's time to get with the program and just realize there are new things out there. And if you really want to know what one of the biggest scams is, it's your credit cards. Okay. I mean, let's put it like this. The government raised interest rates 10 times in the past year. They just recently raised it again last month, which means you're going to continue to fight the interest game, right? And yet you're scared to do bankruptcy, you're scared to do debt settlement, and you just keep on paying that credit card, keep on paying that credit card. And here's the thing, you think the only way out is if you can get a raise, work extra hours, or go get more loans, which doesn't even make sense to me. Why even you're going to get a loan to get out of debt? That doesn't make sense, because now you're still in more debt. Instead of saying, hey, you know what, maybe, just maybe, there is a way online that I can make some money and I should give it a shot. So, what scam do you want to live off of? I mean, that's probably the biggest one, is us calling it a scam. Another thing is the whole investment thing. Stop with the investment crap. I mean, I see guys all the time. If I was going to go be a construction worker right now, I'd have to go buy tools. I would have to go buy boots, and I would have to go buy a hard hat. And yet you're afraid to spend.
Right,
our $600.
Or how much does it cost? Yeah, not only that, the $600 premium gives you all sorts of hotel coupons and restaurant coupons. But the whole thing about how much would it cost for a brick and mortar startup? You know,
that too. And then at the end of the day, there's just an investment. You have to invest in yourself. But if you think about it, our premium 600 with the payment plan, it's only $150 to start. I know half of the people out there that complain about everything spend $150 on a weekend like it's going out of style. So,
right.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So those are my two biggest ones. The myth that if I got to work, why do I have to pay? You got to get over that. You need to invest in yourself into a scam. Like, it's 2023. Like, in fact, the cool thing is I don't really hear that word anymore, but I know a couple years ago I did. But every now and then you come across those people. But it's just like, guys, get over it. It's over now. Like, there's people making money. This is real. Let's go.
It is. Yes, it is.
So, I mean, that's my biggest thing.
Well, I appreciate you coming on, Justin. I know that I'll be watching this again on replay, and I'll be probably cutting this up and making some short form videos from this, and I'll tag you if that's okay. And so that we can get this out there. It's a lot of value bombs and a lot of value, but most of what I'd like to kind of summarize is that you're basically presenting an opportunity, but it's not just getting information, it's applying it and taking it seriously.
Hands down. And you know, before we kind of exit, because I've been saying I'm going to give the four things, guys, if I can leave you with this, do this. Your job is not to go out and make money. And I know that's going to be surprising to you. Your job is to do this. 1, write down your goal. Number 2, because if you aim at nothing, you hit nothing, right? Number 2, write down why you want that goal and really get deep. Because for me, it wasn't just to leave my 9 to 5. It was so I could go travel and do the things. So I'm manifesting that. Number 3, write the feeling of what it would be like to have that goal, because honestly, that's what you're chasing. You don't want the money, right? You want the Lamborghini. Why do you want the Lamborghini? Because of how it makes you feel. So you want the feeling. And then the 4th thing, write down the characteristics of the person that have already achieved that goal. And the reason why we're going to write down those characteristics is because you can't control this. You can't control that. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you are. So go play that character. And now your new job. Don't break character.
Boom! Man, that was the biggest value bomb from the whole show, brother. That was awesome.
That's making some serious waves.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it.
Shaking. I mean, watch out. That's a minefield right now.
The reverberations are still making waves. And so, seriously, it's been our honor, our pleasure, Justin. Let's stay in touch. We could do like a sequel, a follow-up interview later on. I'll be following you on social media. If I know your TikTok handle is something dad. What is it?
Well, it's Justin Springer 23, or I mean, you can look up Side Hustle Dad.
Side Hustle Dad. Okay, there you
go. Sean, he just left the comment. He signed up Friday when I was in Vegas.
Bring him right back up. Oh, really?
Yeah. So,
awesome. Okay.
So Sean,
we'll bring his comment.
Let's go, Sean. Let's go. Welcome aboard, brother.
Yep. Sean just got in just last Friday, so he's ready to knock it out the park. So.
That's what I'm talking about. Hit the ground running, Sean. Take the bull by the horns.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So yeah, TikTok handle right. Justin Springer 23. I appreciate that. And did I pay for dinner? Pretty much, yeah. I mean, you help provide for the trip, so thank you, sir. But now I
That's
owe him a
funny.
phone call, so that's for sure. Like that's why I said we're gonna get you making money because it's only right. Now I give back to you. So
oh, that's awesome. That's pretty funny.
yeah, that's funny.
What happened? What happens in Vegas stays in
Yeah,
Vegas.
Sean, I don't know what
Hey.
you paid for. Just know you provided some fun. Okay.
Go
That's
ask
right.
Ken Jung. Okay.
Yeah, I'm playing.
All right, brother. What's been again? Just like my brother said, it's been a privilege having you on. Let's keep in touch. And if there's a time where we can return the favor and be on some sort of Zoom call or some sort of live broadcast your way, we'd be happy to reciprocate. Okay.
Yeah, we'll have to do that, man. I mean, sometimes, I'll do a training or whatever. Definitely can have you guys out or whatever. We'll make it happen.
Yeah, I mean, oftentimes people will they don't understand the power of a live broadcast, and if you wanted to have us kind of in a very, I don't know, simple way explain that you don't have to be a guru and you don't have to be, because oftentimes when people, well, what kind of interviewing questions are you going to ask? Well, I always answer, well, sometimes we'll ask questions because I've looked at your profile or this, that, or the other, but I don't have anything scripted. It's just like having a conversation. You know what I'm saying?
Just having fun. That's it. Giving value and having fun. That's it.
Right. As a matter of fact, we were invited to a Zoom coaching call this last week on one of the programs that we promote, and
Nice.
the coach had us come on because he wanted people to see that how Jared and I do this, how me and Jared do the show. Some people look at it, and I never really looked at it this way, but in doing this show, we're able to sometimes leverage off someone else's audience and vice versa, right? Because of that guest has an audience, that he or she invites, and then we have our audience. So we kind of leverage off each other's audiences when we do this live show.
That's what it's all about. And that old school mentality of, no, I don't want people to take my people. Listen, the people that like you, they're going to stay around. The people that don't like you and just fizzling out, they're probably going to get more value out of you guys. So I want them to go to you. If they like your content and they get more value out of you than me, because maybe they're like, oh, Justin's too direct. I don't like his, bald head sometimes. I'm sure they want a guy with hair. Sounds good. Go. That's fine. However you got to make
whatever
it.
floats your boat.
So yeah, I agree with that. Hands down.
All right, my man.
All right, so we have somebody who hasn't given Restream permission, so I'm not sure who this is, but if you could drop a name so that we know, when we look at the broadcast, when we can see your name when we're actually on Facebook. But if you could drop your name here, then maybe we can know who you are right now. That'd be great. If not, that's cool. We'll look at Facebook and we'll find out who you are then. But I want to let you go. I appreciate your value and your time. We know it's it's valuable. And here we go, Bobby. Okay, it's Bobby. So, Bobby Ludwig, maybe, Jeff.
Yes, that's right.
All right.
She's in Oregon. All right. Thanks for tuning in, Bobby.
Yeah. All right. Hi, Bobby.
There you go.
Yeah, I know who it is now, Bobby Ludwig. So thanks, Bobby. So seriously, Justin, thank you. Hope you have a fantastic weekend, brother. Keep rocking it. My older sister used to live in Arlington, Texas, and she spoke, right outside of Dallas, and she spoke very highly of that area. She now lives back here in Utah, kind of like what you talked about, where you moved back where your family is. But she speaks very highly of Arlington, and she loved her time that she lived there for about 5 years. So
nice.
So I hear the barbecues are just off the chain, brother.
Come on. Barbecue is the best. We got some of the best barbecue. I mean, I've been to other places and they can do the Mexican food, but they can't get the barbecue the same. There's no way. No.
All right. Yeah. All right. Well, again, have a great weekend, brother, and we appreciate you.
Thank you, guys.
Holler at us if you ever need anything. We'll be happy to contribute. And again, keep rocking it, brother. Man, you're an inspiration to us all.
Oh man, I appreciate that. No, you guys are awesome. So thank you so much.
All right. Have a good day, man. Have a good weekend.
You too, man.
Peace.
Thanks. Wow. So, so many value bombs, Jeff. So many value bombs. And I'm going to take this comment down. Where to go?
Are you looking? Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like the comment's stuck. I don't know why. It's so weird. I don't know why it's stuck. Here we go. All right. So, I don't know why that's happening. There we go. All right. A little bit of a glitch. A little bit of a glitch, you know. So sometimes I can be a son of a glitch. So you know, whatever happens.
Sometimes I think a lot of times.
I know. Bobby Ludwig, thanks for tuning in. And Bobby, if you haven't watched this whole thing, watch it on replay. Justin Springer is giving out some value bombs, dropping them, and Bill just gives out a ton of value. And anyone else who hasn't watched this yet, watch it on replay. And when you do, put in the comment section #replay. And forgot to mention that earlier. Other people would have put in #live, but oh well. But a lot of his audience, whether it's Sean Minton, somebody on YouTube here, Money Boss CEO, Louis Rivera.
No, Louis Rivera is one of my contacts, Jared.
Oh, it's one of your friends?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So just many people that have watched either from his audience or from our audience combined. We appreciate all of you that have commented or watched and added and contributed to this. But Jeff, what was your favorite part of this broadcast? I know I have.
I think one of the biggest takeaways from this live broadcast interview is the way that personal development and mindset go hand in hand, and it's a matter of improving every day, fine-tuning things, doing a self-analysis, and what can we do better each and every day in order to improve ourselves, so our business can improve, right? Not to blame it on our business, right? To put the onus, the responsibility on ourselves.
No, well said. Well said. That's a good takeaway. My summary is just, and I loved how I like his direct, how he's direct. I like how he is straightforward about certain things. He's a straight shooter. But one of the things that I really liked is just how he talks about application, that we can learn, till we can, as he put, we can consume a bunch of content on TikTok or YouTube Shorts or Reels, whatever, right, and we could just consume that. But if we're not actually applying what we learn, then it's useless. And so I thought that was very valuable, just applying something and holding yourself to it, by the way.
Right.
Is that
self-accountability.
Because many times, yeah, because if you're going to say, I'm going to do 2 TikTok videos a day, and then you get frustrated because you had 200 views, and then you didn't make 2 TikToks a day, 2 TikTok videos or Reels or whatever, because you got frustrated, then you're not really, you almost look at yourself in the mirror and say, well, how can I do things differently? And not just play the blame game where you get all down and out and start blaming other people. I'm not saying that maybe one day your views do kind of put a stink bomb. Okay, that happens. I've had some where I put a lot of effort into a video and I'm thinking, man, this is just gonna go viral, and it doesn't. But
some things are just out of our control.
That doesn't necessarily matter. Yeah, that doesn't necessarily matter, because we don't need necessarily to go viral. We just need to reach one person. We just need to reach one person. If that one person, if that one person it resonates with that one person. That one person may share it. That one person may comment. And then all of a sudden the algorithm is bent in our favor if we can just reach one person. That's the way I look at it.
All right.
Anyway,
it's been a pleasure.
We're about done here. Thanks, everyone. Peace. Let's find that outro. Where'd it go? Maybe you can find it because you arrange things probably in a way that you can find it a little bit more.
Yeah, there we go.
All right.